Good evening, everyone, and welcome to EmoNews package for September 24th, 2025. I am your presenter, Anna Benjamin. In the headlines this evening, PM Skerrit highlights community and economic benefits of new $21 million fisheries facilities at Dubla and Bioche. Heavy rainfall across Dominica caused flooding. Legally blind Dominican Loic Charles appointed Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on Youth and Disability. Typhoon Ragasa forces nearly 2 million evacuations in southern China after deadly Taiwan floods. And Jimmy Kimmel breaks silence in an emotional return to ABC's airwaves. These stories and more coming up. First up in local news, Prime Minister Honorable Roosevelt Skerrit has underscored the importance of new facilities at the Dubla Bioche fish landing site, commissioned under the Emergency Agricultural Livelihoods and Climate Resilience Project. Speaking at the ceremony, the Prime Minister said the $21 million World Bank-funded initiative reflects government's commitment to strengthening the agriculture and fisheries sectors. The new facilities include an ice machine, locker rooms, and office space, creating what he described as not just a physical structure, but a hub for community and economic activity. He encouraged fisherfolk to make full use of the facilities, stressing that accurate data collection on fish landings is critical to justify future investments, including the construction of a jetty. The Prime Minister also praised the leadership of the local group in procuring their own ice machine and highlighted the importance of government-community partnerships in advancing development. The project, he said, positions the Dubla Bioche communities to expand their fisheries operations, improve record keeping, and support sustainable livelihoods. And in more news, heavy rainfall from a tropical wave yesterday caused flooding across Dominica, leaving roads in Pichle and Leopoldsville and elsewhere blocked and some people stranded for hours. Authorities are monitoring the situation as cleanup efforts continue. Motorists and residents are being urged to exercise caution in affected areas. In other news, the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities, DAPD, is joining the global observance of the International Week of Deaf People 2025 under the theme No Human Rights Without Sign Language Rights. The week highlights the importance of sign language as a basic human right essential for access to information, participation, and dignity. Daily sub-themes include deaf-led alliances, multilingual education, and recognition of national sign languages. Of particular significance to Dominica is Thursday's theme, Deaf Rights in Crisis, especially relevant during the ongoing hurricane season. In line with this, the DAPD will launch a 3-month basic sign language course on September 30th, open to first responders, healthcare workers, educators, media professionals, and community members. The DAPD urges all stakeholders to support the movement, ensuring sign language rights are upheld and deaf individuals are never left behind. In more news from the Dominica Association of Persons with Disabilities, Loic Charles, who serves as the Assistant Secretary-Treasurer of the DAPD, is a legally blind but exceptionally talented Dominican who has recently been appointed Special Assistant to the Prime Minister on matters of youth and disability. Prime Minister Roosevelt Skerrit made the announcement on Tuesday via his Facebook page, noting that Charles will officially assume his new role on October 1st, 2025. The appointment has been welcomed as a recognition of Charles's potential and commitment to national development. Many of you will remember the name Loic Charles, as he was the first visually impaired Dominican to complete high school, then graduate the Dominica State College, and then even amidst immense challenges, he was able to earn a Bachelor of Arts degree in sociology and a minor in marketing. EmoNews congratulates Loic Charles as he embarks on this new chapter of service. And in more news, a landmark press conference was held in St. Thomas on September 22nd to announce the launch of direct flights to Dominica on Contour Airlines, strengthening air connectivity between the U.S. Virgin Islands and Dominica. The new service is expected to boost tourism, cultural exchange, and regional cooperation. Speakers included Lieutenant Governor Tregenza Roach of the USVI, Marva Williams of the Discover Dominica Authority, Kelly Jin of Contour Airlines, Samantha Doctor-Leta of GEMS, and Dominica's Cultural Ambassador Asa Banton and Ian Turnbull of the USVI Division of Festivals. The event also showcased Dominica's premier accommodations, including Fortune Hotel and Secret Bay, and concluded with a cocktail reception hosted by the Governor's office. The launch has been hailed as a strategic step towards stronger tourism, cultural ties, and economic development between the two territories. And following the landmark press conference in St. Thomas, Dominica officially welcomed Contour Airlines to the Douglas Charles Airport today, Wednesday, with the customary water salute. Officials from the Ministry of Tourism and Contour Airlines were present at the ceremony. The ceremony also included some local entertainment. Contour Airlines will add much-needed services between Dominica and the U.S. Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. In more news, Chief Cultural Officer Elson Matthew has announced that a street parade in Roseau this Saturday will launch activities for Dominica's 47th anniversary of independence. He noted that the event builds on the success of last year's parade and is expected to bring even greater excitement to the start of the independence season.
The 2025 independence season will be officially launched with two activities. Just like last year, there will be an opening ceremony on Friday, the 26th of September, and then the return of the opening parade on Saturday, the 27th. That's this Saturday. The parade was a success last year, and this time around, we plan to make it even bigger and better. Some additional features include traditional and contemporary dance on the streets, the cadet corps, a market day with a difference float, a Wato float with live cooking, corporate partners, bush drum, destination Dominica float, and so much more. Goes without saying that Jinping, Bele, drumming, Flag Day, and others will be represented as well. We have traditions like steel pan, lapo cabwit, bacchanal ladies, and silt walkers. Now people see these as carnival traditions. We see them as Dominican traditions and part of the heritage. So they will be represented well dressed in their madras, of course. And while I'm on that, we're asking the public to play their part by dressing the part. Yes, this is your opportunity to get creative with the madras wear, as we push in that sense of inclusion and patriotism, where even the spectators are part of the parade. Now, we know that the tradition for parades in Dominica is that we observe and appreciate everything from the sidelines, but that last float, that last truck, that last band is for the people. For the first time in history, we have Liquorman and Kendall on the same truck at the same time, alongside Mr. Benji N2O and Mr. Deli. So automatically that means you get a combination of the CK and TK elements. Along with that, you have artists featured on the recently launched Last Supper project. So in addition to Benji and Deli, there will be Trix, one of the hottest artists on island at the moment, Koala G, Slime Hoist, Skinny Bant, and Peter Pross, and much more. So 3 p.m. Saturday, we start in Pottersville and we take it to the streets of Roseau. We end on the promenade with a fireworks display. See you there.
And finally, in local news, in a spirit of hope and renewal, the Kalinago territory today witnessed the launch of a landmark sustainable agriculture farmer field school in collaboration with the University of the West Indies Global Campus, the Commonwealth of Learning, under the patronage of the Ministry of Agriculture, Fisheries, Blue and Green Economy. At the opening ceremony, the chief of the Kalinago people delivered a stirring welcome address.
Today marks not just the beginning of a training program, but also a new chapter of growth and opportunity for our community. For generations, farming has been the backbone of our culture and also our survival and our identity as Kalinago people. It is through the land that we have sustained our families, we have preserved our way of life, and we also know that the times are changing, right? We have climate change, we also have new technologies, market demands, and all this means that we must continue to learn, we must continue to adapt, and we must continue to innovate if we are to thrive. This Farmers Code is an investment in you, the hard-working farmers of the Kalinago community, the men and women who till the soil, you who nurture the crops and you provide for your families. The knowledge and skills you will gain here will not only improve your own farms, but also strengthen the food security and economic resilience of the entire Kalinago territory. I encourage you to embrace this training with open minds and open hearts. Ask questions, share your own experiences, and support each other along the way. Together, we can combine traditional wisdom with modern knowledge to create a brighter and more sustainable future.
Finally, the chief stressed the importance of education in the lives of both young and old.
Wake up, my Carib people. Always remember, education is the key. That was one of the lines for one of the calypsos he made for one of the students, and it always stuck with me. And I can also testify that education has brought me a long way, and it's never too late to learn. Never say that you're too old to learn something new. It's using what you have to make the best use of the opportunity that you have. And this is an opportunity that is given to you. I would urge each and every one of you to see how you can make the best use of it to make your lives better. So welcome to the Kalinago territory and welcome to this program, and I wish you all the best on your journey.
Yes, thank you.
On the regional scene, the Organization of Eastern Caribbean States, OECS, Commission, through the Unleashing the Blue Economy of the Caribbean project and funded by the World Bank, recently hosted Business Development Services information sessions for micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises, MSMEs, in St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The sessions included an in-person session on Tuesday, September 16th at the Center for Enterprise Development Conference Room in Kingston, followed by a virtual session on Thursday, September 18th via Zoom. These sessions followed successful engagements in Grenada and St. Lucia, ensuring that MSME owners across the region are informed and prepared to access grant funding under the Regional MSME Matching Grants Program. Jack Hinston Compton, communications consultant at the OECS, had this to say.
Grenadian micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises in the blue economy benefited recently from Business Development Services information sessions on the Regional MSME Matching Grants Program. These sessions were hosted by the Unleashing the Blue Economy of the Caribbean, or UBEC project. The program provides funding to these blue economy MSMEs. An online session was presented to MSMEs in the fisheries, marine tourism, and waste management sessions in Grenada, while a physical session was hosted at the Madonna Harford Conference Room, Grenada Public Workers Union, Tantine, St. George's. Business Development Services consultant Dr. Janelle Murray led the information sessions and engaged numerous MSME owners from around the island, eager to elevate their businesses.
Coming out from the business diagnostic assessments, you would understand more about the businesses, what their strengths and weaknesses are, where the gaps lie, what needs they may have. And then we will be able to develop a group training and capacity building program. So we're aiming to try and close those gaps and to address some of the business challenges that persons may have after the business diagnostics.
And in other news, Prime Minister Kamla Persad-Bissessar has revealed that world gold medalist Kishon Walcott will be awarded $500,000 in recognition of his outstanding performance at the World Athletics Championships. Walcott will also be appointed as a sport ambassador for Trinidad and Tobago. Additionally, the government is proposing to rename the newly opened Northeastern Multipurpose Facility in Sangre Grande in his honor. The Prime Minister further announced that Silver World medalist Jerome Richards will receive $250,000 for securing second place in the men's 400 meters at the World Athletics Championships. Also, in recognition of their success in this year's Caribbean Premier League, the Trinbago Night Riders will be presented with the prestigious Chaconia Gold Award.
Kishan, for the second time, you've made me proud. When I was Prime Minister the first time, Kishan also won gold. So can we thank him so much? And you're now joined by our silver medalist, Jerome. And Jerome is from the Southland. My Minister of Homeland Security is very proud to say he's also from Point Fortin. To the TKR team, I stood in front of my TV. I don't want to admit it, but I'm not a great cricket fan. But because of you guys, I tried not to miss a game. And then I tried not to watch the news, because then I'll rewind. That's what you can do now, and look at those games. You have made us so, so proud. We want to thank you very much. And you've done it at a time when we celebrate Republic Day tomorrow. So you've done it for the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago. We congratulate you and thank you so much. And sport unites a nation. You've made us very proud. In every area, sport unites a nation. And I think the entire nation was united with all of you when you went off, when you did what you had to do, did your duty, and made us so very proud. So we thank you all very, very much. So for Kishan, we will be giving to Kishan, in accordance with the Cabinet policy, $500,000. We propose to rename the Northeastern Regional Multipurpose Sport Facility in Sangre Grande the Kishan Walcott Multipurpose Sport Facility. In addition, Kishan, we think you will serve very well as a sport ambassador for Trinidad and Tobago, so we plan to give you that honor. You may know or may not that being a sport ambassador will entitle you to the grant of a diplomatic passport, of course subject to due diligence by the authorities. So you will be able to travel in and out. And we hope that you will be working not just here. You made the entire CARICOM proud as well. When Trinidad wins, everybody in the CARICOM wins. When Trinidad and Tobago wins, everybody in the CARICOM wins. So the CARICOM was also rooting for you, and that diplomatic passport will allow you access in and out, egress and access to represent Trinidad and Tobago.
And internationally, nearly 2 million people have been evacuated from southern China as Typhoon Ragasa slams into one of the world's most densely populated coastlines after causing deadly flooding in Taiwan. Once the strongest storm on Earth this year, Ragasa brought Hong Kong and much of southern China to a standstill on Wednesday, following its destructive path through the Philippines and Taiwan. The typhoon, packing hurricane force winds, has triggered landslides, flooding, and massive waves. In Taiwan, at least 17 people have died and 17 remain missing after a natural dam collapse, releasing 68 million tons of water that flooded Guangfu Township. Rescuers continue to search for survivors. And President Donald Trump departed from his prepared remarks at the United Nations on Tuesday to complain about a malfunctioning escalator and a defective teleprompter, using the incidents to depict the global body as inefficient. All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that stopped right in the middle, he said, gesturing for emphasis. However, the cause was revealed to be closer to home. UN spokesperson Stephen Dujarric explained that a videographer from the US delegation who moved ahead of Trump had triggered the escalator's safety mechanism. The safety mechanism is designed to prevent people or objects from being caught in the gearing, Dujarric said, adding the activation was likely accidental. Trump also mentioned the teleprompter malfunction during his speech, joking that whoever operated it is in big trouble. A UN official speaking anonymously due to the matter's sensitivity confirmed that the White House staff controls the teleprompter. Escalator outages are not uncommon at the UN, as some facilities in New York and Geneva have recently shut down elevators and escalators intermittently to save costs amid a liquidity crisis.
All I got from the United Nations was an escalator that on the way up stopped right in the middle. If the First Lady wasn't in great shape, she would have fallen. But she's in great shape. We're both in good shape. We both stood. And then a teleprompter that didn't work. These are the two things I got from the United Nations, a bad escalator and a bad teleprompter. I can only say that whoever's operating this teleprompter is in big trouble.
And finally, on the international scene, Jimmy Kimmel broke his silence in an emotional return to ABC's Airways. He said it was never his intention to make light of the murder of Charlie Kirk.
This show is not important. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this. I make something clear because it's important to me as a human, and that is, you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man.
And that's it for this evening's international news. Stay tuned for sports after this short message.
Something big is coming to Dominica. A game for the people, by the people. Are you ready to match 5?
First up in sports news. Portsmouth witnessed a spectacular showcase of youth talent as the Aspirers Track Club dominated the opening race of the Dominica Amateur Athletic Association's 3 race road series. The club claimed clean sweeps in the under-9 girls, under-11 boys, under-13 boys, and under-17 boys categories. Among the standout gold medalists were Gabriella Peter, Trayvon Valerie, Omari Caesar, Jaden Joseph, and veteran athlete Luan Gabriel, who triumphed in the female open category. After a brief break following the Asia Cup, India returns to Test cricket with a 2-match series against the West Indies starting October 2nd in Ahmedabad, before moving to Delhi on October 10th. This will be India's first Test series since the 2-2 draw in England for the inaugural Anderson Tendulkar Trophy. Shubman Gill will lead the side with another series against South Africa in November, serving as further preparation. The series is crucial for India, both to recover from last year's 0-3 home test loss to New Zealand and to strengthen their World Test Championship standing, where they currently sit 3rd. With 4 tests at home ahead, India under Gill will aim for a 4-0 sweep. The expected 15-member squad will see Dhruv Jurel as wicketkeeper in place of the injured Rishabh Pant, while Ravindra Jadeja's return will add experience and flair to the team after several retirements. Finally, in sports, the R&D Academy will host an exciting 3x3 volleyball tournament on September 28th at the Windsor Park Sports Stadium forecourt. Community members and sports fans are invited to attend and cheer the action. With a grand prize of $300 up for grabs, this promises to be a thrilling event for all. And that's all for sports this evening. Stay tuned for the weather. after this brief message.
I raised up in a poor family, I would say. So it was always my dream. I said that's the first thing I want to achieve after settling into a job. I want to own a home. Biggest fear, I would say, on a little salary, you want to build a home. Who is going to give you a loan to build a home on a little salary? So that was my biggest fear. I went to NBD to get something done, not thinking of going to do a mortgage with NBD. And surprisingly, the person I met was an old friend. She listens. She gets into your story, and I could not resist. I just had to go with NBD. My home building journey was a smooth one. I had good builders, and when you can trust certain people with your money, because we see what happens now when you give people your money to build. But these people were people I could trust. Hug me, hug me. We did this. And I was like, I was so happy. I was just thankful. So getting in here to sign while I was teary, I was happy. It may not be a mansion, but it's comfort for you. And I was just so happy. Just putting on that light, I was just happy. To come in there and watch what they did, I was overjoyed. I am Lynn Fairberlot, and I am a homeowner. If I can do it, you can do it too. Start your journey today with NBD.
And this has been EmoNews package for September 24th, 2025. I am your presenter, Soana Benjamin. Thanks for viewing.